What's going on, people? Y'all probably don't know me, but I go by the name of AB Bless, and I'm new to this YouTube shit, so I really want to grow with you guys, create a unique audience where we can really share our opinions and thoughts. You know, I plan on really taking this shit serious. But, to get to the point, I want to speak on Doom. For those of y'all that don't know, Doom is a first-person shooter game developed by ID Software and published by Bethesda. Now, I know when people pick up the case and they see that Bethesda icon on the case, they think Fallout with fucking shotguns and demons. And sorry to really disappoint you, but this ain't no Fallout. But just because it's not Fallout doesn't mean Bethesda doesn't know how to invest their money. They definitely invested their money in a good company because ID made Doom pretty fucking good. Now, I want to set the record straight before I dive into this. I'm only really talking about the single-player campaign. I'm not really into multiplayers anymore since soldiers decided it was a good thing to go out in space and start a war. So, yeah, multiplayer shooters definitely aren't for me no more. Alright, so let me share a little bit what Doom is about. Basically, I don't know how many fucking years in the future, but human civilization is on some next level tech shit. They have this whole research lab running on Mars with futuristic technology, and it's so powerful that it needs to be fueled by something that's not like regular energy.
Multiple events of the last 24 hours, but you must understand, our interest in their world was purely for the betterment of mankind. Everything has clearly gotten out of hand now, yes. But it was worth the risk, I assure you.
So they have something called Argent energy. Trying to gain this Argent energy, some guy had the genius idea to let's open up a portal to hell and use it for his resources. And look where that got them. Yep, you're overrun by demons. I'm not really sure who you play as, like the character, but apparently you're some soldier from hell who's literally made or designed to kill fucking demons from hell. There's like a lot of lore and stuff like that, so you can look more into that because this is my first Doom game, so I really don't know. But I want to start with how Doom plays. It's really like fast-paced, like super fast-paced. I don't know if you ever play ID Software's Quake series, if any of you guys ever played that, but it's really fast, kind of like the other games. This is actually my first Doom game, but I've played Quake before. Besides how fast it's move, throughout the game you're mostly just really killing waves of demons over and over. There's like 2 other NPCs, but as far as that's how really AI interaction really goes for the game. That said, I didn't like that very much, but it wasn't really a huge deal. Within the first couple minutes I got a shotgun, and after that everything went really quick. I was blasting demon guts everywhere before I knew it, just feeling like a real true Winchester. I personally love gore and blood in video games. That's just a sweet spot for me. And Doom has tons of blood, and I love it. After a few shots on the demon starts to highlight either blue or orange, and you have a certain amount of time to perform what Doom likes to call a glory kill, and that's performed by the R3 button. Now, I feel like glory kills is actually one of Doom's best aspects. And ID Software really went out their way to even give you the ability to aim at different parts of the demon's body and perform different executions. But glory kills wasn't the only way I slayed my way through hell. Doom gives you a really impressive number of weapons too to have fun with. From the shotgun that shoots like it's fucking Gears of Wars, from Gears of Wars to a big ass laser cannon. And trust me, there's a lot more weapons that I'm not even going to talk about in this review or this discussion. I feel like that's what I really love most about the game. There's a lot more than I really expected. Like when I went into it, I wasn't really expecting so much content as I got. Especially when they introduced weapon mods. So let me explain the weapon mods. So each gun has 2 weapon mods, right? Sometimes slightly changing the appearance of your weapon, but mainly giving it a special ability. For example, the shotgun mod has where you can shoot like 3 bursts at a time. And then there's also the mod where it's exploding bullets. I feel like that gave the game just a little more replay value from having different play styles. And you earn these mods by going around the map and getting collectibles, one of which is called a field drone. I know everybody knows, like in typical first-person shooters or anything along that line, you usually get experience points or you use the same gun and it levels up and anything like that. Doom took a really distinct approach with this one. Instead of that, you have something called weapon tokens. And I felt that it really kept the game cool and fresh, because now instead of just blasting demons away, I have little objectives now. Challenges like performing over-the-top glory kills, like jumping on top of the head and doing the glory kill, And it's not like you could just skip past these, because these are what earns you the weapon points, making you feel even more badass. Weapon points can also be earned by exploring the map or by eliminating all the demons on the map. I feel like ID Software really went out their way to make sure the waves of killing demons really didn't feel so repetitive. So you use the weapons points for the mods and on different guns, giving your guns even more flavor. There are about like 2 to 3 upgrades for each weapon, giving your gun an extra perk. For example, the copy shotgun from Gears of War that I mentioned earlier has something called an explosive mod. Now with the explosive mod attached, you get an upgrade tree with that explosive mod. And there's like a lot of cool different upgrades you can get just on one mod, like increasing the area of explosions or lessen the cooldown time. And the cool thing is that the upgrades actually cost more each time you do it. So, you know, it doesn't really make it too easy. Eventually you get all the upgrades for one mod, and that's when you get the chance to unlock the mastery upgrade. This is one of the things I especially really liked about the game, because they made the weapons so much more badass. In order to get the mastery upgrade, you have to complete a challenge associated with the mod, and I feel like that's a really clever way to add it. The other collectibles around the map, of course, Predator suit tokens. Suits give you minor little upgrades like reloading faster or scanning collectibles around the map. The upgrades were okay, but I wasn't really impressed by it. What really impressed me was the rune trials. I can't stress this enough how surprised I was about the amount of effort and content ID put in this game, or even just the single player. I could imagine the snap map mode and fucking the waves and stuff like that, but I'm not going to really even get into that. So each map has about 1 to 2 rune trials, and to me, the rune trials, the runes, actually feel like the real upgrades to your suit. You can equip up to 3 runes on your suit, and it's fucking great because they're so different. It switches up how fast the game plays and even adds more playstyles. Some runes allow you to basically Modern Warfare 2 commando knife, glory kill motherfucker from like 50 feet away. Or you could have a more simple rune like having extra ammo for each kill. The rune feature really added a way to mix things up, and it makes the repeat of killing demon waves feel fresh. Now, my whole experience playing this game, throughout the whole game, I kept thinking, I have to give a shout out to level designers in this fucking game. Each level really felt really thought out. Like, it almost felt like a platform game at times. And like Jack and Dexter hopping on the little shits that's floating. Like, it felt weird. I'm like, I didn't expect this from a first-person shooter Doom game, you know what I'm saying? Like, even though I never played Doom, I wasn't expecting that. The amount of little nooks and crannies and secrets that would be hidden in the map, I really appreciated it. Even though it was a little linear game, it really felt like there was a lot to explore. Overall, Doom was a great run, and developers at ID Software really went out their way to make sure Doom was a fresh and fun experience to play. With its heavy weapons customizations to its fast-paced gameplay, it really accomplishes what it set out to do. There were only a few things that would make Doom just a little more memorable for me, and that would be probably longer glory kills, or show the glory kills like in third person, like kind of like Skyrim. And one thing that really bugged me was a mini map. I feel like this game should have really had like a little radar mini map on the right side of the like bottom of the corner, kind of like GTA. Because I cannot count how many times I fucking press start to look at the map, because the maps are so complex. Like, you really have to just keep pressing start if you want to find all the collectibles and secrets. And, you know, I just felt like a little map on the side would have made that a little more easier. The story was also pretty interesting. It don't give you too much to work with, but if you have patience, you can actually read through all the codex collectibles that you find around the map. It gives you a lot more in depth on the story. I actually did that a few times, so it definitely gives you a lot more about the lore of Doom and stuff like that. On that note, Doom was really fun to play with. I was kind of disappointed in how it ended. It was kind of anticlimactic, especially since I was like really into the story. But they definitely left room for a part 2, and I'm really hoping they definitely make a part 2. Because after playing part 1, 2 is definitely a day 1 for me. I can only imagine the ways they really make it better. Let me know what you guys really thought of Doom. If you haven't played it at all, did I convince you to give it a shot or pick it up for a rent or anything like that? Or if you have, did I say anything that you thought was pretty interesting, or I didn't say anything, I missed something? You know, just let me know in the comments, and I really appreciate all the listeners. I can't wait to really grow with you guys. I'm trying to be really serious about us BornGamerz. So be sure to subscribe, leave a comment, and remember, we can only grow if we work together. On that note, see y'all in my next video. Peace.